would be so much more easier for them to keep people, dumbed down, apathetic, not interested in anything. They're potentially more sick, and this in the end might be the perfect weapon that they have to actually, either if they want to just keep people generally sick or stupefied or whatever, in order to be able to implement their, as we've talked about, their new world order is going in, and they have they have the plans right there, and these are the type of technologies that they actually might be using now in order to help progress their agenda. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's right on. I think these whole weapon systems, these mind control systems, it's the card up their sleeve.
Sheesh. Is there...
forget about going out, I even thought about myself, when the hammer is dropped, and our backs up against the wall, what are we going to do? Are we going to bow? Are we going to fight them back?
Yeah, exactly.
But, even if we do, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think, anybody in their right mind really has a choice. We have to find some way to kind of fight them back if they put our backs up against the wall.
That's right.
But, I sometimes email Michael Desarian about this, and he just kind of came back and said, this is a war of attrition. That's a great perspective on this. Maybe they won't drop the hammer on us. Maybe this is just a war of attrition where they're slowly changing things over time. And, even if they're going to drop the hammer, or it's just a war of attrition that's going on here, these type of weapons are perfect for them to do whatever they want to do.
That's right. And I think Michael is is right on actually in that way, because if they actually were ever to drop the hammer, as you say, then in a way that would mean that, well, potentially that would mean that a lot of people actually react to it, and that because that would be like something actually happening up front that people can touch and feel and react to and kind of go against, as you say. But it feels like they have this perfect scenario set up in a way where people don't know what's going on, and it's the steps are so small, so people aren't aware. Looking back even 10 years, there have been a lot of progress, but people, they have short-term, their short-term, the memory is short, the memory span is short. That's what I'm saying, and people don't remember, and it's like a tippy-toe tactics towards, a new dictatorship, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if they were to drop the hammer, you'd have your local drunk who knows nothing about any of this stuff. You'd be out in the streets fighting too.
Yeah, exactly, and they cannot have that,
Exactly, yeah.
So
no doubt about it.
So that's kind of the issue here, or if you think about it, that's what we're kind of facing in a way. We're facing this slowly implementation, or culturally changing tactics of moving towards a dumbed down population where things are pretty much gonna be as they are now, but just slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And as long as people are sitting around waiting for something very big to happen, we're not gonna get anything done, basically.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think a lot of these movements that are going on, whether it's the 9/11 Truth movement, the Patriot movement, in the end, it's like they're trying to seek for some type of political solution. I don't think there is one.
Yeah, that's right. I actually don't. I don't believe that either. Because as long as you're working from within their system, it's still going to be their system in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll manipulate it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if I've seen some things that are kind of making me question Ron Paul at the moment. This one particular Masonic handshake.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder. Okay, what kind of game's going on here? Is there a Hegelian dialectic playing out between the New World Order itself and the research community?
Well, exactly. I mean, I think they're not stupid. They know what's going on. They're listening and paying attention, and especially, as the 9/11 movement grows and more and more people are questioning, and I think they're keeping an eye on the internet. And in a way, I mean, I'm not saying that Ron Paul here is in on it, as it were, but this might be perfect for them to use him in this way. I'm not sure what's going on here actually, but but it's interesting that you bring it up, because in a way you end up where you have to question all of these things, and even Ron Paul seems very good, I think, but yeah, I mean you shouldn't be censoring yourself from even questioning that guy,
No, I agree with you, because I mean, even if he is legitimate, he's definitely playing the politics game when it comes to terrorism. He's saying, "Oh, it's the foreign policy, and then that's why they're coming over here and doing that to us."
Yeah, that's right.
That's one point. But even if he is genuine here and trying to do his best, he's still working within that system. And even if he gets into the presidency and he starts changing things around, they got their hands on so many switches. They can either just threaten him and say, "Look, you're going to play ball with us, or we're going to do your family in," or if he's going to not be persuaded in any way, they could just kill him.
That's right. Yeah.
And then
unfortunately,
that to their advantage, just like the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, exactly, and it seems to be a tactics too, that they always have this kind of, they have this way that they, how should I put it? It feels like they always are looking for people that they do have this a hook on them, so to speak. They have them. We have the blackmailing scenario, of course, where they have. This of course ties back to what I'm trying to say here is this ties back to the stories that we read from Washington Post years back, and even the whole Jeff Gannon story, and all of this revealing that there was a lot of prostituted and homosexual activity within Washington, as the headline said. But I think that might be because they want to keep people in a kind of state where they potentially could be blackmailed at any point, meaning that they want to keep them within the system, and they want to keep them, very, very, with their hooks on them, so to speak. And in order to do that, you need to have something on them. And if you wouldn't even agree to do something like that, you wouldn't even be able to climb up the ladder of politics, as it were. I mean, there's so much to squeeze in here to actually mention it, but in the end, I think that you're right, and I think we have to keep an eye on it and look upon it and being able to question it. And the big question again, as you post, is politics the way to actually resolve something? Is that a way to go at all, or would we better off to actually looking towards totally another kind of system where people help themselves, or help people that are close by you, instead of again centralizing the power and so forth. I mean, what do you think would be a good solution for people that are in the kind of situation that we find ourselves in now?
Yeah, I think it all comes back to sovereignty, and having people understand sovereignty and what it really means, as far as being self-determining. So each individual, I think we need a system that's going to guarantee, well, maybe not guarantee, but it's going to allow for the sovereignty of each individual, and for that sovereignty to kind of ripple out from the individual to maybe some sort of local level, maybe even a state level. Hey, if we can set up a kind of system and it's needed for some type of national level, then fine. But I think sovereignty is the key.
Yeah.
And reversing this whole consolidation of power.
Indeed.
I think we need to set up some type of new form of government, if it's going to be even considered a government at all, that will allow for that to be the case. So nobody gets infringed upon.
And then we go back again to the dilemma of as soon as you set up an organization or some kind of union in a way, the potential for this to be infiltrated is huge, right away, basically, when people set up something good with good intentions, with a lot of positive energy for change, and do something new. I'm not saying that it's worthless, not at all. I mean, that's not what I'm saying here. I mean, I think it's very good for people that are doing this and trying to change things. But in a way, it feels like the problem that we're facing has more to do with, the human race as a collective, and that we have elements within, the human race that actually are sick and psychopathic, and they have psychological issues to deal with, and we have a lot of sick people that actually have now are finding themselves in a positions where they're leading the planet almost.
Yeah, exactly. I would have to say that these elite bloodlines and all these people, if they be people at the top, even the aliens themselves that I would say are above them, I think that they're suffering from some type of mental illness that has gone unchecked throughout all history.
Yeah.
They've been able to protect themselves with their money and their riches and their castles or mansions or what have you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue of the will to dominate others. That in itself, I think, can be viewed upon as a sickness, considering the consequences, at least, of what has happened and is happening on this planet. And I think that the people, the people that are living, on this planet, have to recognize that there are people that don't have the best intentions for them, in in place, and that there are people up there that are very sick, and we have to stop to be so naive. That doesn't mean that we have to be paranoid because everybody might be, potential maniac or whatever. It's almost the other way around. But first, I think we have to recognize the problem, and that is what people aren't doing. If we speak about the majority, at least, many people are just shutting their eyes, not looking at the problems, and even not recognizing that there is one.
Yeah, that's another, I guess, aspect of the sickness. It's like you're going to have this part of the sickness, which is the elite and all their psychopathology, and then you have the populace in their ignorance, not wanting to know, not wanting to look deeper, not wanting to recognize that's enabling that.
Yeah.
And assure that the elite on the other end are enabling their ignorance.
Exactly, because this works both ways now. At first, people might not, been able to, that they want to look at it or recognize it. But then you have the other way around now, where you actually have the manipulation going on, where they're trying to prevent people from actually looking at it and making people more stupid, either if it's what we've been talking about here today with EMF weaponry, or if it's, additives in the foods or more drugs or whatever. But still, there's a lot of manipulation going on. And I also think that there isn't reason, to be hopeless about the scenario that we are facing. I think there's a lot of things to be very positive about. But I think at least that one of the solutions that, many people are looking for the solutions right now, and of course rightly so, but one of the solutions that I think is actually to do the kind of work that many people are doing now, and more coming to it all the time, and that is actually, researching, reality, what has been going on, what is going on, and where are things heading, and just being able to boost that interest for these kind of topics again. I think I see that as a form of solutions or solution, but I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, that's certainly important. The education, doing the research. I think that's what's really going to bring that can bring things around. Is that the research has to be done, and we have to kind of keep digging for things and keep putting things together and making the connections. Keeping up with things as they're unfolding, because there's a lot we just haven't been told.
That's right, yeah.